What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 21 of my Total War Warhammer 3, a modded Settra, Great King the Imperishable, Khemri Kara, the Great King of Nehekara, King of Kings, Opener of the Way, Wielder of the Divine Flame, Punisher of Nomads, the Great Unifier, Commander of the Golden Legion, Sacred of Appearance, Bringer of Light, Father of Hawks, Builder of Cities, Protector of the Two Worlds, Keeper of the Hours, Chosen of Petra, High Steward of the Horizon, Sailor of the Great Vitae, Sentinel of the Two Realms, and many, many more campaign. So as we saw last time, our battles against the Skaven continue in the sort of northern edge of our empire, though we've nearly closed it off with buffer states, and we had a great fight as King Wakov faced off against the forces of Khorne, formerly occupying the area of the Watcher here. Now, as I promised at the end of last episode, I did end the turn so that A, I could do the building admin, and B, so that I could, fight the stupid little waste of time fight that we had with Queen Khalida, as the auto-resolve was once again hankering for murdering our poor Tombbarks here. Two somewhat consequential things happened at that end turn, which I would have edited out anyway, obviously. The first thing was that Mr. Scrag the Slaughterer decided to land here at Gobi Alain, and it was just auto-resolved. You can even see the damage was pretty minimal. His army was a half-stack and it was primarily Noblars, as it looks like wherever he came from, or maybe he had some trouble out at sea, his armies out there seemed weaker than the ones that were on the mainland, which is quite interesting. The other thing that was of consequence that happened were these guys. Khalid al-Muntazir and the Cult of Mordig have cancelled our trade agreement, so it looks like the attempt to keep them as a vassal was for naught. Duplicitous vampires and all that, I suppose, so we are going to just have to wipe them out. And wouldn't you know it, King Wakov has acquired the book from the realm of the sorcerer, so we might as well move him southward and pay these guys a bit of a visit. I guess we can go into the Portal of Twilight since we have a little bit of Tzeentch corruption here still. We're gonna have to decorruptify the place. I might even place a keeper or two in this particular location just so that we have a decorruptification. In fact, are we able to bring... Wait, do we have any capacity? We have capacity for one. We can always delete keepers later if we need to. Now, the type of keeper that we want is... Okay, Wise would obviously be nice. Custodian gives us the -2 local province corruption, eh? What's the current corruption? Oh, I don't know what it was anymore. Local populace is +2. You know what? I think we'll do the one that gives us jars rather than the one that gives us... anti-corruption or bonus anti-corruption. I'm just gonna hope it's gonna be sufficient, because, we are still gated by wanting more jars. I don't know why I went to ancillaries. Go for cleanse corruption, and then go through this portion of the tree. Wait, obviously cannot pick jar hoarder. And wait, let us try to get towards vicious curses, like... doesn't matter which one of these, doesn't look like it. Vicious Curses, beautiful. And then we still have exactly 2 to get the Winds of Magic and Research rated, although I guess we don't really need that. Are there any spare Cultists of Assyrian for more corruption reduction? Indeed there are. Lovely. Alright, well, that should work out to decorruptify the Portal of Twilight, as Wakov heads towards these guys, and we may need another army over there, since admittedly we have allowed them time to rebuild, but, well... I don't think it's going to be enough anyway. Cetra, I would like you... That's a question. We do want to wipe these guys out. They just got onto the map, though. What's your chances of ambush succeeding? It is 60%. It's not so bad. I don't think they go for Magrakhan. You know what? Go right here, relatively close to them, and I think we'll declare war on them. I thought it was ARBAAL, would have been nice. Is this too close, maybe? You know what, go a little bit further back. We just need to reach Spite Peak from here, after all. And then we'll just declare war on you. Actually, this would probably be a good time for the Cult of Mordig to say no, and let's find out. Will they do it? Well, they did cancel that agreement. They have refused. Alright, so that means... Wait, do they immediately declare war upon us, or... No, it didn't cancel the agreement. Well, we'll cancel it ourselves. Sometimes it does that. I feel like they meant to, but it's all good. We'll do it for them soon enough. Oh, I suppose another consequential thing happened. The Prophet quest came up, so we now can get that bonus XP as soon as we complete said quest. Now, new tech to pick, and I believe we were going to go for Dark Brotherhood for the additional 10% ward save for the Hyro Titans, and the +4/+4 melee attack defense for Katep, who is going to be joined by Tutmos. And is going to continue on his way to Xandri, after the conquest of which he should be able to swap out one of the Hyro Titans for another one of the Caskets of Souls. And weird. Katep could move here, all the way out here, and then Tutmos could move all the way out here, but when he joined Katep's army, he suddenly could not move nearly as far. Whatever, I don't care. Alrighty. Weird, but whatever. Panat, you are heading to the Oasis of 1,001 Camels. Ooh, whoa. Big Bellower Arot, are we able to reach you? Or are we just out of range? No, we are able to reach you. I wonder how many camels there are there. Gotta be at least 3. Anyway, let's see what we got here. I mean, it is an army. It isn't the greatest of armies, though. Let's see what the auto resolve says. If it's low casualties and decisive victory, it's probably not worth our time. It may be a full stack, but it's kind of a pathetic one. And without anything above tier 1 and 2, so let's just auto resolve it. Hopefully this doesn't damage us too heavily, though. Alright, we'll need to heal up. Alright, ally mission successful for the Cathians. Let's start channeling again, and I guess head to the Oasis next turn. At least that'll prevent them from moving down here. Alrighty, who's up next? Hakor. Oh, you know what? Panat and Hakor, I believe you're both missing your... Armor of Eternity, was it? Yes, Armor of Eternity. Neither of them have regeneration, so I'm going to give both of them that. Slowly but surely, I want to make sure that our lords, at the very least, are all itemed up. I might deal with the sort of... that was construction noise outside. Or was that... I don't know, car noise, something noise. Anyway, sorry if the mic's picking it all up. Armor of Eternity 1 for Hakor, and we're going to do the same thing for Panat. Anyway, as I was saying, other than perhaps the heroes, at the very least the lords, I feel like we should get them all more or less maxed out in terms of their item capabilities, and of course those banners of theirs. Anyway, Hakor, you're going to quickly pick up Black Iron Mine. We don't actually care about any of the Skaven territory, but obviously we're at war with them and we can't have them bordering us. I'm going to give all this lovely territory to the elves. Hopefully they can hold it. The climate seems not super favorable to them, but the adjacent provinces, oh wow. Well, hopefully they can hold it anyway. What was I saying? The dwarfs hate us, so it's kind of pointless to be attempting to make friends with them at this point. They hate us more than the vampires did. In fact, significantly more than the vampires did, so yeah, kind of pointless. Yeah, you can... I'm not going to rebuild anything there. It's fine as it is. Rakash, you, I believe, were going out to sea, but you're going out to sea all the way out here. So keep on moving, sir. And then you guys were going to cross to Malice, who's one of the top strongest factions in the game, so might as well. I'll pick up this. Remnants of Battle. And another island. I mean, we could grab them while we're here. Hall of True Silver, and go into March stance, or full speed stance. Grab the Mysterious Island. Honestly, the only thing I'd really like out of it, obviously we have materials at sea, but it's Lost Cargo that I'd like for the extra growth. Otherwise, it's not super useful. Anyway, I guess you're not suffering attrition at least this turn, but you will next turn. Alright. And obviously we don't really care about the money anymore. Lamazash, you are going the long, long way. Let's see if you survive the trip across the sea with your Ushabti. Certainly going to take attrition while doing so. And it looks like we'll lose 1 Ushabti per turn. Well, as long as it doesn't take 12 turns... Should take 3 to be in the safe area, and then, we might as well land here at Bajarak's last stand to heal up in Imric's territory. I'd wager that by the time we land there, the Knights of Kalador will be our vassal. I would think. Anyway, we'll see. King Thutep, the Phoenix. There's a Skull Reef here. Nice. Yeah, you're going to the Canal of Abundance. Sphinx King, not Phoenix King. Alright, and then Khalida, let me guess. While we can attack Skull Splitter's hold, it'll do the same thing and cause us a little bit more auto-resolve trouble. That's just a full stack there, in which case we'd fight it. No. Well, there was hoping. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm surprised that the place is walled, to be perfectly honest. It's kind of meh. And of course, and now it'll kill one of the Tombbarks. Alright. I might just let it die. I don't think we can... It's too annoying to deal with. Much as I'd hate to lose a high-rank unit like this, we can't just be fighting. We already fought enough of those silly auto-resolve battles that don't need to be fought when the enemy had no chance. What I'd like to see is... How close are we to our first coatl? Wait, can we get one right now? Coatl? Coatl? I know I saw you here before. Oh, there you are. 64. Hey, we can't build one. Wait, did that say 3 turns or 2 turns? I don't Khalida sitting there for 3 turns for only a single unit. It is indeed 3 turns, so I don't like that. But with 64 being the cost, we wouldn't be able to... Alright, well... I'll resolve this for now. I just let the Tombbark go, I don't care. Occupy. And just replace it with some skeletons. If we have a spare army in a bit, we might just be able to build the other one, but let's take out these territories quickly and then deal with it after. Alright. We'll get the coatl in there. Flying Snake gotta join the rest of the snakes. King ALKHAZZAR, you are going to go try to hunt down ARBAAL the Undefeated. I was actually gonna send Khalida originally, but, you know. And there's no guarantee that we actually go up there. And, oh, Cetra's kind of here. Well, I guess once we link up, Cetra can start traveling northward. We shall see. Alright, go like this in ambush stance in case these guys feel like moving out this way. All of this is going to go to the elves anyway, because I don't feel like doing more admin with more of these territories. Is no longer necessary. King Settra, you are actually going to proceed here to Sekhmet's Needle for 2 purposes. 1, to take it for when we attack Xandri, and 2, in case there are extra armies that move away running from Wakaf, as they very well should, you can sort of hunt them down. Jocht is moving to Khemri, so keep on going, sir. Who is Sehekat again? Oh, right, you're carrying the... Yeah, right. You're gonna go out to sea, and then you're going to bring those units of Guardians of the Alabaster Tower and Sphinx Legion to Mr. Akatep. The Keepers obviously don't need to move. The Scout... I mean... So we kind of scouted out most of what I wanted out of this. There isn't really anything else, is there? Well, keep scouting just because we have you. And then Prince Temp, you found Abhishek Bloodgatherer. I'm gonna say keep an eye on him for now, but eventually we'll send another scout to... I mean, you can keep doing this, but we'll send another scout to find the other book. Maybe we'll even send Prince Temp out there. Oh, there's more armies belonging to the Orcs out here. Maybe we send the Tomb Fleet their way then. I was kind of banking on sending Arkan to the, Katep up to grab the Book of Nagash. Certainly something that bears thinking about. Anyway, I believe that's all we gotta do here. Oh, we could send Prince Ayashurs up there as well, since he's not doing anything. Although he's gonna take so long to get there, I'm not sure I care. Alright, and then let's just skip on by for now. End turn. Alright, okay, I don't even know where this guy came from, but, okay, I guess we're gonna have to hunt him down too. Ooh, he's got a lot of items on him. Talisman of Preservation, Armor of Destiny, that's some good stuff. Alright, we should actually probably hunt you down. Anyway, okay, there's no garrison here, so he's gonna die, it's gonna die, but maybe Xandri can pick him up. Alrighty, there's the ambush, and... Anyway, has Cetra ever done an ambush? I mean, I feel like Cetra wouldn't even bother. Close victory and medium casualties against this? I mean, it is the Savage Orcs, and we don't have a crazy amount of... You know what, why not? Let's fight this one. At least it's not low casualties and easy victory or a decisive victory or whatever it is. We got some giants, we got some trolls, and of course the massively physical resistant orcs. Why not? Go. Alrighty, all is sand, especially those poor Cetra. Oh, those poor orcs. And the only thing that stopped Cetra was running into one of his own charioteers. But yeah, that was pretty entertaining. Like that line that he left across half the enemy army. Pretty solid. Anyway, the battle probably gonna be a rather quick one, I would wager at any rate, as the enemy is in an ambush state. It's just that Cetra has gotten like none of these ever, and I just wanted to make sure that we fight one. Over at the rear of the column, we have the Necro Sphinx, or the Sphinx of Usak, together with the two War Sphinxes, taking down the enemy giants and trolls, whereas our chariots have engaged with the enemy main line, as we saw. Charged on in, did a little bit of damage, charge on out, and then repeat the whole cycle charge thing. Our front line is where our units of Tomb Guard are concentrated, so that they try to hold off as many of the enemy as possible from running off the battle map, in the same way that the enemy lord did, as he just booked it on out of there, rather than get run down by Cetra, which, you know, after seeing what Cetra did to half his army there, I can certainly get behind the notion. Anyway, the balance of power has shifted to about 95% in our favor within the minute or so, and the battle is very, very nearly ours. In fact, I couldn't even finish the sentence, as with that, the orcs shatter, and the battle is done. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure Cetra got one ambush going, and next time we'll probably just auto-resolve this, if we ever bother putting Cetra in ambush. Alright, there we go. No problem at all. The lack of magical damage certainly didn't stop us from dishing it out to all of those savage orcs. We will take the Endless March for the additional movement range, just to guarantee that we can actually reach the enemy, and I assume that, well, a couple of these guys will run off, but not for long. Ooh, the game got stuck on the very end turn there for, I don't know, like several minutes. Good lord. I don't know what that was. Hopefully it's not going to crash. Anyway, settlement sacked. Where? Oh, right, this place. Alright, don't we have to go backtrack? I mean, he could move to Wadi El Mutsil, which is kind of annoying. Where did the Zandri armies go? I assume that they proceeded here. I don't see them anymore. This will keep us away from Abishag Bloodgatherer for an extra turn or two. Ooh, Great Incantation of Xar is up and running. Unyielding Will. Defeat this guy. Oh, we're on it. Great Incantation of Xar. Oh, that's the... Well, actually, the additional ambush chance might be useful. Ah, screw it. Why not do it? It's not like... it's not like we need the money. Alrighty, and then Panet, I guess you are going to go into ambush stance, a Gnor Oasis of 1,000 camels, and go this way. Even if they can reach this place, whether they sack it or raise it, it doesn't matter as long as we actually catch the enemy army. Those little territories hold no significance, and what the heck? Oh, right, this guy probably didn't know that Cetra was here, because Cetra was in ambush, which I guess worked out for us. Go into Great Dynasty stance, I guess, so let's kill both of these little armies, then move to Spite Peak. Wonder if Fireball's around here. Medium casualties. Okay, no, okay, you're just lying. This is a lie. Ain't no way. Yeah, kill like a huge number of our chariots, game. Why don't you? Alright, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. No ARBAAL. Alright, no ARBAAL yet, but we'll get him. And then you can head into Spite Peak, which... Please don't tell me the game will be like, no, you can't auto-resolve this. Okay. See, it won't kill the Tombbarks in this army. I guess it just wants to focus down the chariots so much that it won't bother with the Tombbarks. But yeah, the auto-resolve despises the Tomb Kings, generally speaking. Hey, we got profit, though. Step 1, profit. Anyway, you go into Sump Pit, I guess. I saw ARBAAL the other day, or, well, yesterday, in yesterday's episode. I know he's here somewhere. Auto-resolve. All these little auto-resolves are, you know, playing it risky, though, if we run into his main stack, but we shall see. Storm of Necromancy, again, don't bother... Well, I was about to say don't bother building these places up, but they're free, why not? Might as well have more powerful territories to transfer to the... who's going up here? Our allies are going up here, generally speaking. But anyway. Do we go to Mangy Marauders Horde, or do we go through the mountains? I don't really care about Skullsplitter's hold, but maybe it can defend itself. Let's just ignore this for now and go into the mountains instead. Alright. I think their main stack returned to Cracked Molar as soon as these guys... Yeah, because we can see the mission thing here. After the failed attempt to attack the Gate of the Stars. Oh, you're still in Worship of Petra. Switch to Worship of Asaf. And I'm still probably going to transfer that to the Cathans, but you know, I'm just, yeah. Ignore it for now. Anyway, Hakor, you can, I guess, go into ambush stance right outside of Karak Azul. You will keep looking for Quiki. He's here somewhere. We saw him once too, and I don't know where he went, unless he died fighting somebody and is still waiting to return. He's going to be sitting at Karagyar, the last place we check. Oh, and, oh, there, never mind. He's going to be sitting right there. If I hadn't said that, that's where he'd be, though. What if he can jump down here and annoy the elves? Not that that's our problem anymore. Vassal or not. We might actually stop on by and kill off Belugar, because he hates us and he's not going to start liking us, let's face it. Walk off. Since the foolish vamps have decided to turn their noses up at Cetra's mercy, well, he's not going to have that mercy around for too long. The corruption here is still kind of iffy. Oh, why did I put you into... go into this stance? Go here. Start towards these guys. Let's see you cut down 4 or 5 whatever armies of vamps. Rakash? You've nearly reached the sea. Fantastic. Scorpion King, you can actually suffer maybe 1 turn of attrition and then hug the coast. While you proceed to here, which is slightly faster apparently. Go, go, go. If we had the extra time, we might stop by at the whale rigs just because they're cool, but generally speaking, the Black Kraken Armada that occupies them is kind of a weak faction, so it's not super concerning, especially since I'd wager the Tomb Kings can't use petroleum. What are they going to have, petroleum-powered sphinxes? I guess to match the, to match Kadai destroyers, maybe. Anyway. Now I want a petroleum-powered sphinx, but anyway, King Setap, you have nearly reached where you're supposed to go, so keep on going. And Jocht, you're still very much on the way, but, wait, can we go out to sea here? We can, but it's easier to just go to Ash Crossing and then go out of the port instead. And we'll speed it up. Sehaket, you are going out to sea right now. I guess here? I don't know, whatever. Go out to sea any way you can. And... he's just running along the coastline. It's kind of interesting. Alright, there you go, and you gotta make your delivery while Katep goes to Xandri. I'd wager that he'll be able to make that delivery by the time we conquer Xandri. Works for me. That's our long victory condition, incidentally. Right there at the Pyramid of King Amenemhetem. And anybody else need to move? Who's Romarinef again? Oh, you're a keeper, alright. Keeper Romarinef. Good, and then we just have Esphere, who... Oh, we already moved. Scout just on the principle of the thing, and then Prince Temp. Stay near Abhishek. I mean, I guess we know where Abhishek is. I don't think he can move, so let's go find the other book while you're here. All good. Something for you to do. Next, we pick attack, at least as soon as you stop moving. Oh, actually, you can also see where the Xandri armies are. Ah, there they are. Alright, I'd be perfectly happy if Xandri were to take all of this territory, and we just vassalize them here. The less coastline we have to defend, the better, because it's kind of annoying with the Tomb Kings and their absolute garbage garrisons. Anyway, let's go for dynasty research. We have the Dark Brotherhood now completed, which means, I believe, the Cairo Titans in Katep's army should have, what, 30% ward save? Okay, I gotta check that, just out of curiosity. What can we do here? What would be next? Oh, I like the idea of the missile strength for the range artillery pieces, since we use them in lots of armies, since fairly significant buff therein. Anyway, we moved the heroes around Katep. I'm just curious. We are at 31% wards. Huh. Okay, so... Interesting. We get 10 from the tech, and we get 10 from the Herald. Right? And they have a base of something? Wait, let me just see here. These guys have 21, so 10 from the tech. Oh, and I guess 11 from the... 11 from the statues, or these things. Except for Hydro Titans. Yeah, alright, everything's fine, nobody panic. Let's keep going. Shifting Sands. Ooh, hello, it's a tier 5. Lovely to see. And then I guess we won't need the Golden Age monument here anymore. The additional growth, after all, no longer particularly useful in that particular location. You can go to tier 5, yes. You can go to tier 5, you can go to tier 3, you can be upgraded, and then here we will, instead of the lone column, build the other thing. The Hidden Sanctum, just like we have here, but we need to be tier 3 for that, so we'll ignore it. Mortis Tarn, you are going to go for one of these Ruined War Sphinx statues. Western Hekara, you are going to grab a Grand Pyramid. Isn't it grand? And then we have 3 spaces, which means all 3 of the major construct buildings. Just because we can, not like they cost a lot. You, Restored Tomb, obviously the Hidden Sanctum always, and obviously the Royal Burial Chamber always. Still need more canopic jars per turn. What are we at, by the way? From buildings and characters, that's our main sources. We're at... 1,050, it's not so bad, but minus 215 from the ancient buildings, so still not actually at 1,000. Someday. Another Hidden Sanctum, please. And then here we'll build a Hidden Sanctum after we reach tier 3, so for now just build the Undead Quarrymen. Honestly, I'm not even sure why I'm bothering with the Undead Quarrymen anymore, since we don't technically need them either. In theory, we might not even need to keep going through the Mortuary Sanctums. Better to just start spamming treasure tombs everywhere. Not that we need those. I mean, we've long passed the point where we need money. I'll think about it. Or just keep going to see how high we can make our income. It'll never match the income of Thorgrim of 6.5 or 8 million per turn, whatever the hecking insanity it ended up being. Not that 122,000 for Tomb Kings isn't solid, considering nothing that they do actually costs anything. Anyway, these places will get rid of the defenses later, and later meaning not now, because we still need to kill off the vamps. I tried. I just wanted the ghostly units, but if it don't happen, it don't happen. Where is this, by the way? Is this actually in need of the defenses? Well, yeah, the enemy tried to land here at Gobia Land, despite the fact that it's not a port. So yeah, if we want to hold on to any of these places, we will need them to be able to defend themselves to whatever degree they can. And here... yeah, well, here we'll need to maximize our growth, so we'll actually build a lone column, because we need Nagazzar up to tier 5, so we need it to increase growth. Frankly, uncollect the income, and switch into Worship of Petra. Let's see how quickly we can get you up to tier 5. Because the green skulls that we would get from there would be part of a Petra army. Again, the Petra army would be using units that we've already used in other armies. Same with the Contact Effect army, which is why I haven't prioritized either of those. They're kind of bonus armies that we may or may not use. We shall see. Anyway, you're probably going to go for this place, aren't you? Let's build defenses just in case. I was going to use that place to vassalize Xandri, but if it doesn't happen, I also don't care that much. Anyway, Iron Peaks is fine. Horn of Araby will repair you, and I guess rebuild military structure. And Dragon's Landing, Shakalot Slayer will max you out. And hopefully in 3 turns we'll be able to transfer it to these guys for a nice vassalage. Alright, and I believe that's it for the building. We are not besieging anybody. And just heading towards these guys for more fighting. Skip. And hey, we're over 10,000 canopic jars again. Alright. Well, you know what? I'm glad that we're getting some time to move our armies where they need to be, because there's a few armies that are hankering for some new fights. End turn. Do we care about this? I think I'm just going to auto-resolve it. I think it's kind of a waste of time. Yeah, there's a decent likelihood that the enemy can actually maybe win the fight. Well, actually, they barely have any ogres now that I look at it. It's mostly Nobblers, and... actually, yeah, they probably wouldn't win the fight. Ah, screw it. Alright, Panet's ambush was foiled, but it mattered not at all, as the enemy just destroyed itself attempting to attack Wadi El-Metsil with that giant pile of half-dead nobblers that they got from this place. We will just build you back up. Ally mission successful. Ooh, ally mission successful is good, and... another dynasty researched. Good. And there's those freaking epic jars. Always nice to have. We will next go... I mean, we gotta keep moving through this stuff. Do we need more power-ups for Necropolis Knights? Sphinxes are fine. We did do Shabti. I'm gonna do Sepulchral Stalkers next, because I like them. That's pretty much my only reason. It's the only reason I need, damn it. Anyway, Panet, you're gonna hit the Oasis of 1,001 Camels. Like so. And obviously auto-resolve it, and it will still... okay. And you know how badly those ogre armies will have lost in their attempts rather to attack us, just considering how badly beat up they got attempting to go here. Where the heck is Andrew? Oh, did they just fail to take this place? Huh, or did they sack it? It looks like it's damaged. Or maybe they just did fail. I don't know. But anyway, as I was saying, you know how badly those ogre armies would have failed, considering how badly the auto-resolve disfavors us. So yeah, anyway, walk off. You could actually besiege Bel Aliad, which would probably mean that the enemy attempts to move towards us here. Probably the best way to do it. So, you are no longer our vassal. Next turn. Damn it, one more turn? Okay, it's only been 10 turns, wow. It feels like it's been longer, but that's all good. You're fine, just go right outside of Bel Aliad. At least if we attack it from this direction, it'll be closer to more enemy armies to move on in. Besides, Bel Aliad itself has Blood Knights and stuff that might actually threaten Wakaf. Just in case the enemy moves towards us, though, let's actually put a few levels in here. Tomb Strike for Wakaf. Remember, Wakaf's been as monstrous as he has been over the course of the campaign, with basically no points in his own fighting line, so he's only getting stronger from here. Anyway, Woundmaker. Let's see if we can't get him hitting 4,000 real soon. A Lich Priest of Nehekara, you... I mean, you're trying to go to Vicious Curses now. Frankly, everybody's trying to go to Vicious Curses now. Might as well continue in that line. Cooldown. I think we should be close to or at the point where the cooldown for Joffs is going to be really, really short. Huh? Wait, Overcast version is 41 second cooldown. Basic version is 5 second cooldown. So basically non-stop spamming it with Restless Dead, which is exactly what I wanted. Alrighty. And just keep that up, essentially. Empower the Titans is not useful here. Let's go through Hard to Hit into Tomb Strike and then into... I guess start with Over My Dead Body. You are on a chariot in this particular army, though I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether you need to be, but, you know. If you need to get away, might as well be over your dead body. Anyway, Cetra. Starting with you again. Now, I guess we could hedge you out here. More likely to run into ARBAAL maybe at his capital, which is where? It's at the Vaults of Plenty. Not that I ever intended to send Cetra all the way out here for too long. Yeah, I guess we could go like this and then travel back through Death Pass, taking out a few of the enemies. Again, I was originally planning to maybe start him on a very, very long journey to go to defeat Surtha Ek, but frankly, again, I really don't want to spend like 30 turns traveling, you know? But anyway, for now, Cetra, go here. You'll recover to full HP and then head to Bone Gulch, and then ALKHAZZAR is going to go to Blackgouge. I guess while in ambush stance? What's the likelihood that there's an army here? We shall see. Go and Tomb Beneath the Sands and get a little bit closer. Just because you can. Alrighty, I also would like you to scout out the last of these little Skaven territories. And are these the only territories belonging to... What? Oh, good lord, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no. I thought it was full of rats. Oh, okay. Well, that's gonna immediately get conquered by the rats. Yeah, well... I mean, I guess we could sell it to the dwarfs, but does that do anything for us? Huh, wait, are the dwarfs at war with the... They are. Belgar's kind of sitting in Ziflin. How much territory does he have, out of curiosity? 4. I mean, If the rats take this, then they just maybe attack each other. Ah, alright, just leave them there, whatever, I don't care. Alright, Hakor. I guess since there's a rebellion at Caragnar, we'll proceed first to Nazcadrin, like so. And then we'll move you back around, because this guy can move up northward. And finally, we will kill poor Wheelrat. Wait, don't kill Wheelrat yet. Anybody else want us to kill Wheelrat? I see Queek here. Might be a while till we get Queek. Yeah, but accept it anyway. Ah, there's Wheelrat. Alright, easy completion there, Slanashi Giggle. And Mugga Bigga Git. Ooh, there's 2 armies here. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely where we're heading Kalita to. And hello, ARBAAL. You are right here. Interesting. Alright, so he'll probably run into one of these armies. Oh, wait, if he's right here, I wonder if he can reach Hakor. Do we risk the auto-resolve? Huh, well, we'll accept the mission for him just because we can. I wonder how far we can travel past this point. This is about half of our movement range, eh? And then another half would be like this much. He might actually be able to hit us here. How much auto-resolve damage would we take? Do we risk it? You know what? I think you encircle this. We'll see if ARBAAL comes a call and attacks us. I'd rather not, you know, lose half the army to auto-resolve in that particular situation. Anyway, Rakash, you're going out to sea. That's where the Tomb Fleet should be, and I think you're going upwards to help out against the orcs, who are causing a bit of a trouble for our vassals. We'll send Katep then to pick up the last of the books. You can't reach Zandri, at least not right now, so go right here, we'll reach it next turn. Stay on the road, I guess. And keep channeling near to 337 the Winds of Power Magic Reserve. Pretty solid. And that's lowered by 10, I believe, currently due to the draining winds as well. Alright. And now, the other thing we need to do with Kata... Well, I was going to say, he doesn't need his Tomb Fleet Taskmaster. Does he need a Lichbone Pennant? He does not, because his entire army does magical damage. He does not need the Priest of Petra or the Highborn of Khemri. I guess we'll once again do the Cindering Armor thing. Do we have any kind of... So, the regular Tomb Guard, they have the Cavalry Bane on them. I assume that these ones do as well. Actually, the Sphinx Legion does not, so we could leave Cavalry Bane on the Guardians of the Alabaster Tower. Maybe. I'm just wondering as to which types of banners we will give Katep. Also, we already made 6 for... Oh, you know what? Let's do this right now, while we're at it. Since the birds could run into a fight at any time. Much as I'd hate to... You know what? Keep the Tomb Fleet Taskmaster, but lose everything else, I guess. Yeah, alright. Lose, and yeah. And then gain Emblem of... Oh, no, you can't keep the Tomb Fleet Taskmaster. We have 6 birds, or 6 carrion, and thus we need all the Emblems of Withering to buff them up in terms of their armor. Alright, and then I guess Katep, you're gonna need more Emblems of Withering. And I guess we'll do 5. It might be 4, depending on if we want to give some kind of banner to Katep. Oh, we could give him a war banner, which will increase... actually, let me just see here. This gives us reload and range. Let's see if he can use the Icon of the Sacred Eye. I'm willing to bet he can't, but I will give it a try. Again, we can always give him a war banner in terms of bumping up his own damage if we want to. And for now, we'll do 4 Emblems of Withering. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, there we go. And let's actually pop him into his army. I doubt that Zandri is wise to what we're doing, so yeah, we'll be attacking them anyway. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And an Icon of the Sacred Eye. Since it didn't work on like 90% of other characters, and it doesn't work on these things, I probably won't work on Katep either, but you never know. Just out of curiosity. Anyway, Scorpion King, suffering a little bit of attrition, but not for long. You're gonna land... go right here. I don't really care about the shipwreck. We're going to Malice, and you're going to Malice as well. Lovely. Let's see how that Strength Rank 7 or whatever is working out for him. Kalita, in the meantime, we'll head down to Fractured Fang. Hopefully these guys won't get stopped from moving. Actually, they will by a little bit. Alright, Kalita. Just lose the stupid... Just auto-resolve. And now these guys are getting horrifically damaged. Okay, Occupy. I might take them off their chariots. Wait, the Tomb Prince is also getting horrifically damaged. Okay. I don't know what's up with the auto-resolve in this army. Hopefully the Coat will fix it. If they don't, I'm not sure. Actually, if they don't, I might put in more Necropolis Knights, because they're not seemingly hated by the auto-resolve. Anyway, we're not going to wait for the Coat just for this, so we'll just get another Skeleton Spear. And keep on moving. Again, I don't want to waste 3 turns sitting there with Khalida. And Thutep, you're going out to sea. You've got places to be. Could have picked up that Skull Reef, but, you know, who cares? Anyway, Jocht, you are going to go out of Ash Crossing. And Thutep is done moving. Oh, right, Lamazash needs to keep moving as well. I forgot whether I continued him on his way. I did. Okay, good. Alright, we got one more turn until Wakov destroys the Cult of Mordig, so just gotta put everybody in place, and we got one more turn until we declare war on Xandri. Do we want to trespass here? I mean, I guess we can go from this side. In case these guys move this way as well, it's a distinct possibility. Oh. Okay, whatever, I don't care which territory you end your turn in. They're not going to care that much. Alrighty, Sekaket, you are going to keep making your delivery. And you should get to Kotep soon. Good. Everybody's happy. Scouts, I guess we can move Prince Temp, but I'm just going to ignore regular scout. I already moved Prince Temp. Alright, building real quick. Not much to do there, I'd wager. Let's go for that Grand Pyramid. As we always do. Did we already upgrade the... Oh, it needs to be tier 5, fair enough. And then I believe there's nothing else to build here other than the big old statues. So go for statues then. Alright, easy enough. Here we have to build the Sanctum now. Nope, we have to wait 3 turns to build the Sanctum. Never mind, I lied. Alright, here we can though. And that's more XP. Golden Plain. Yes to the tier 4 for obvious reasons. Could get rid of the Golden Age monument, but I'm too lazy to get rid of buildings once they've been constructed. At least at this point in time. We did some already through the course of the campaign. Oh, right. And I was interested in seeing if we could make a unique item out of that Hush'd Forge, so we are getting a little bit of that corruption here. I guess we can counteract it with Worship of SF, and that'll bring it down. It's not like the construction cost reduction or the increased income we get matters at all. Necropolis. And, it takes 2 turns to build rather than 1? What is this? Probably from the construction time plus 50% in yellow territories. Fair enough. Alright, do that, and then we'll build the Sanctum here, or the Hierophant's Bibliotheca, or whatever the basic version of that is. Looks good to me. Broken Teeth, we are probably not keeping you, but, you know, traded at a higher level. Pirate Coast, you're kind of in the same position. Just build up so I don't have to look at you every turn. Skull Splitters hold, build defenses so that you can defend yourself, because Khalida's not here to fight your battles for you. And these places, because they're being painted, are going to the elves. Cripple Peak. We are growing you as fast as we can, so keep on doing that. I would like to upgrade the Marble Monolith, though maybe it would be better to... Wait, is there actually any purpose to upgrading it to tier 3? There is not. Alright, so just keep it as it is. We don't need to upgrade the other monoliths. Just grow as fast as you can. And then Karagyar. I'm 99% sure the rats will attack, but just in case they don't, in fact, just build stuff that will only take 1 turn so that it gives you additional garrison. 90% that they'll attack it. Not that it's a big deal or it matters if they do. Alright, let's end this turn and then let's do some fighting with the Walkoff against all of these guys. So skip, or as soon as we end the vassalage. Alright, trait gained, Rite of Primeval Glory, irrelevant to us. We buff up the Spokeful Stalkers before they're about to go into a big old fight. Lovely. Next up, let's pick a new tech. Another tech is going to be... Might as well just finish up with the Necropolis Knights here for buffing snakes. And we will buff the Carrion before they fight, of course. Both of this and this thing. Don't need the Scorpion buff, says it'll be a few turns before the Scorpions can fight again. Anyway, since you are, again, have decided to spit upon Cetra's mercy here, we will cancel our vassal status with you. Outpost lost, Cult of Mordig, and this time you will not survive, vampires. Declare war. Hopefully none of our other allies come in to sort of try to take any of this territory. There's an army out here. I wonder if it'll proceed up north. Not that it'll matter over much. Alright, like so, and like so. Alright, and then we will besiege the place, not attack it directly, because we want to fight those elites together with 3 more armies. And that's what we like to say. Anyway, walk off. Ooh, you've reached rank 50. Beautiful. Now we earn... Yeah, okay, this is a waste of our... Yeah, let's get Embalmed and Elixir, a little bit of extra HP. Unfortunately, while he has plenty of regen and stuff, his HP is quite low being a Foot Lord, and thus we, you know, got to do what we can. Here, we will, yeah, Blade Master, definitely. Geheb doesn't help us. Syrian might with a casualty replenishment rate, but it's not critical. I am gonna get Restful Interment for the wounds reduction, as he can get damaged on occasion. Over my dead body, more speed and hit points, yes, and obviously Desert Strike. We've 3 points remaining. He has his red line completed with the exception of Master Charioteers, but I'm not so sure that we care so much about the single tomb bark, which, interestingly enough, in this army does not get constantly killed by the auto-resolve like Kalida's did, but whatever. What do we want to spend those last 3 points on? I guess just making them a stronger fighter. He doesn't, in theory, really need the charge bonus. The Indomitable is kind of useless, at least for the Lord. Well, an extra little bit of armor might help, as he is always getting hit, but maybe 30 charges may be worth a little bit more than that. Ancient Stone does nothing for us. We got 1 point to spend. I'm tempted to just get Garrison the Walls just because we have it. Could get casualties captured post-battle. I would imagine that his army has max casualty replenishment, right? Right? Or should we just grab Assyrian just in case he doesn't? Let's just do that. Alright, that looks good to me. Well, let's level up these guys as well. They are nowhere near to maxed as yet, but they'll get there. And you, of course, Necrotect, you are going to grab Desert Strike. Let's get you... I'm going to say, well, it's actually not a lot of armor. 30 charge versus 20% weapon strength. Frankly, either one is fine. Alright, you besiege this, and as soon as we end the turn, we'll have a big old fight for our trouble. You, Cetra, are not able to reach Bone Gulch in 1 turn. I guess you can go raiding, and just for fun, a little bit of extra XP for these 2 units which have not yet leveled up. Panat, you have also reached rank 50. And, okay, so assuming these guys continue here... Huh. Did only one of their armies survive? Or did they move on? Ah, they moved on here. Interesting. Wait, did they also declare war on... No. It's just Chaos Corrupted. Interesting that they didn't bother taking this place. A little bit weird. It'll probably mean that they take this place, because we are about to declare war on them. And do we defend it, I guess, is the question. It's not that we really care about the location, it's that... I wonder where their other armies are as well. You know, I'm gonna think about it. You sit there for a turn. Are we able to, or are we ready to declare war on them? You are outside of Sekhmet's Needle, which we need to take. You will besiege Zandri, so they'll sally out and fight us. And that's gonna be a toughie. The Ushabti with great bows means that we don't have a lot of units that are gonna be able to easily reach them. Should be an interesting fight, if nothing else. Alright, Katep. Do we need you to get the miscast base chance reduction? I don't think so. Do we need you to go into Great Dynasty stance, though? I'm not so sure either. Maybe the miscast base chance reduction. You do have a lot of mages, after all. Alright, Zandri, I'm sorry about this, but it's part of our victory condition, so we're gonna declare war on you. And hopefully you don't lose too much territory to, I don't know, Eltharion or somebody who's nearby. Almost tempted to send the birds here as well to just make this go by a little bit quicker, but we'll see. Declare war. Sorry about this. Again, I wish I could ask our, not tell our vassals to join. I don't understand why that's not part of the system. Alright, that's 2 new wars for everybody. Katep, let's see if you can pull this off. Frankly, decent likelihood that a lot of your Tomb Guard will die here just by virtue of fighting all of those units of Ushabti with Great Bow. And we'll be too slow to reach some of the Hydro Titans. It's gonna be interesting. Alrighty. Yeah, see this icon of the Sacred Eye can't be put on anybody. So yeah, we'll pop the Emblem of Withering on all of you. Like so, and then we'll replace the icon of the Sacred Eye with a war banner for Katep. Assuming that there's no other banner that would be helpful, and I don't think that there is. Vanguard deployment Stog doesn't really help. This at least gives him reload time reduction, which will power up. Wait, he's not a max reload, is he? 20 seconds? No, not even close. Alright, let's lose this. And then get the war banner. Yeah, Banner of Swiftness wouldn't help him either. He's so slow at 14 speed that, yeah. Alright, let's give him the points. Do we want to maybe get that Sandstorm? Well, you know what? Let's get Skullstorm. And, you know what? Let's get Useks as well. It could be quite helpful here. Alright, and he doesn't have Resurrect, which could actually be potentially worrisome here. You have maxed out Empower the Titans. We don't need Spring the Trap. We can go through. We are the elite. Get a little bit of that extra... Oh, wait, actually, it wouldn't apply to anybody here. I was going to say for the little bit of missile resistance. But if it doesn't help, it doesn't help. Let's go Ceremonial Bandages, because you're going to be in danger of getting ripped apart. And... in this army, you're probably going to be on foot most of the time rather than chariot, but I'm tempted to go for the Scorpion armor with you anyway. It's not like we really need more carrion buffs. Yeah, screw it, just get the Scorpion armor. We at least then have the option of keeping you on the chariot. Alright, let's just get We Are the Elite. And Indomitable Will, I guess? Yeah, why not? Alright, looks good to me. Lich Priest of Death. You're here mostly to spam Spirit Leech and occasionally Fate Abuna. We probably will never need Purple Sun out of yet. We will be defending, so we won't get the value out of the weapon strength. So we may as well just start buffing up the Vicious Curses. So let's go through this. Let's get a Trapped Soul as well. What about the Lich Priest of Shadows? You're here to, well, yeah, spam occasionally Melkoths. We want at least 1 point in the Enfeebling Foe. I do like the Pit of Shades and the Arcane Conduit as well. And Occam's Mindrazor and Pit of Shades both have a potential use. Let's also grab you Ceremonial Bandages in case you get wrecked. Alright. Hopefully you don't get wrecked, to be perfectly honest. A couple of volleys from the Zushabti with Great Bow will do that reckoning. Anyway. Panet, you. Now that we're at war with these guys, I think we have to forego attacking Mukhtarhin Oasis for a turn or two, just to deal with them. So, you are going to proceed to Hashishin's lair, right here, and see where this army proceeds to. If you need to fight them, you'll fight them. Oh, that's a pretty solid stack as well. Lots of Necropolis Knights, huh? Oh, alright. Well, if you're likely to fight them, we should probably apply your points. Now, your magics are fine. We will want Useks maxed out, I think. Obviously, Ceremonial Bandages, Trapped Soul, and Returned in Madness, so that you're at least somewhat, tanky. And we'll get 1 point in Assyrians, though I use the spell rarely enough to, I think, not warrant putting another point in it. And we have a pretty balanced army here, so we have Snakes, Ushabti, and... wait, we did Revered Stonemasonry. We did not do Snakes, did we? No buffs for these guys. Alright, so let's do Elite Cavalrymen. Yeah. We do have 4 of them. I'm wondering whether we should put any points into the casket, but I don't think it's going to be particularly helpful here. We have 1 point remaining, or 2 points remaining. And let's get Embalmed in Elixir for the little bit of extra HP. We occasionally use Patraz. Yeah, you know what? Let's try to spam Patraz Incantation of Righteous Smiting more so that the Ushabti with Great Bow do a little bit more work. I don't think anything else here would be particularly likely to be used too much. Do that. Then the Necrotect, of course. You have Empower the Titans and Strengthened Incantations, which were the critical things. And you don't buff the Serpents or the Necropolis Knights, which is fine. Hard to hit, Conqueror, and Tombstrike. Alright. Potentially ready for a fight. Hakor. I don't know where ARBAAL... ah, there he is. Huh. That's a question. Wait, are we able to pass through this territory and attack him? We are. Though who knows how many rats are there, and he's, I take it, allied with the Clan Wars? So while this place is in ruins, it cannot cause any kind of disruption to us, can we? He's got 3 Chaos Knights, and buffs them to a fair degree. The single entities in this army are going to be a huge problem, though. Scar Bloodwrath, Skyla Anfengrim, and ARBAAL himself. Nonetheless, I don't think we have a choice in the matter, so we're just going to have to try to deal with them as best we can. Alright, let's get the points up and let's do it. You have Ancient Stone, which does nothing for anybody in this army, assuming we don't switch anybody. And I was on the fence about getting Arrows of SF, and I kind of remain on the fence about it. And we will probably keep these guys, though. We'll see. Anyway, Disciple of Walat does not help us, does it? And maybe we should just get Arrows of the Asp. There is not too much more here that would be extremely useful. 1, 2, 3. Arrows of SF and Restful Internment for that anti-wounds. Decent likelihood you take a few hits here. Fighting the Cornates and all that. You. Definitely gonna need Sekhmets and Useks maxed out for this particular battle. And I'm going to say... Oh, I didn't get Nerus with you? What the heck is wrong with me? I guess... huh? I put 3 points in Petras. Oh, maybe I was just doing it on autopilot and got the wrong thing. Whoops. Yeah, that's definitely not the way I should have done that. Anyway, you little fella. Tomb Prince. You're on a chariot, so you're gonna have a bad time, most likely. Conqueror, I guess. You've got the stuff, most of the stuff that makes you tanky. Start going through Blade Master. Get a little bit harder, but then get the heck out when you're facing ARBAAL and such. Alright, and at least this army can retreat fairly quickly if it needs to, because there's a decent likelihood that it will here. Anyway, let's go Devastating Charge and Moonmaker for you. And I guess we'll pick up Blade Master and Conqueror after. Alright. Should I have picked them up first? Yes, I should have, but it's too late. Go for Great Dynasty's stance, we might need to heal, and go for ARBAAL. Well, let's see what he's got. Alright, how many rats do we have in reinforcements? Actually, a fairly decent pile of rats as a reinforcement. It's gonna be a dangerous one. Do we have that thing that causes us to go into a feral rage? Yes, we do. That's going to be very dangerous. For the caskets, for the skeleton archer chariots, it's gonna be iffy. Let's see if we can do it. Go. Alrighty, here we go. This should be a very interesting fight. I am not entirely sure we can win this, but we gotta give it a shot. Though we will be destroyed completely, I believe, if we... well, maybe we can... Actually, I don't think we can run down here, can we? Yeah, I don't think this is passable terrain. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. This is going to be tough for a number of reasons. The main one is that this is a chariot army, and the enemy army completely counters, fully counters 100% the fact that we have chariots. Feral Rage means that if we take even a little bit of damage, as soon as we drop below 75% HP, it's 45 seconds of rampage, and that's just the first tier of Feral Rage. 45 seconds for an super fragile ranged chariot like this means it's guaranteed to be destroyed, meaning we effectively can't use our chariots in melee here ever, and we can't even really kite the enemies, because if we take a few hits, our units are done for. On top of all that, we have ARBAAL, we have Skyla Anfengrim, and I believe we have Scar Bloodwrath here as well. And this army of ours is not good at dealing with single entities, especially or particularly smaller single entities. I think it'll be a little bit easier maybe to deal with Skyla than with ARBAAL and the other guy, but yeah, and they're pretty nicely statted up. On top of all that, most of the enemy army is unbreakable. All the Chaos Knights and all the Marauders under ARBAAL are unbreakable. The Forsaken, funnily enough, are not, which is kind of interesting, but anyway. And yeah, that's going to be an issue. And then, of course, there's a second army coming in as well. So, how are we going to fight this? Well, we're going to do our best to annoy the enemy with the chariots a little bit. If the enemy should choose to wait until its reinforcements arrive, we can do a little tiny bit of trickle damage, even though ultimately it's not going to be all that much. Get a nice little charge in through the enemy and then back out. Again, we can't afford to take any damage because we'll go into Feral Rage and it'll screw us over. And we also can't afford to close the distance with Skyla and Fengrim, who has an ability that if he closes the distance, an explosion ability that causes us to go into Rampage as well. So, how are we going to deal with it? Over on this side of the map, we have this valley going down all the way to the edge of the map somewhere back here. So, we are going to essentially block off the valley here with our Tomb Guard and do our best to protect our artillery pieces, A, to annoy the enemy, and B, so that the enemy can't, insta-kill them. And then we're going to put 4 out of our 6 chariots behind our main line. Now, the reason is, first, to start off by doing a little bit of range damage to the enemy fast movers, i.e. the Chaos Knights, and really any big targets that the enemy has here, like the Chaos Spawn, etc., etc., etc. Although the chariots probably don't do enough damage for the Chaos Knights to really be threatened by them. The Sundering Armor helps, though. But the main reason, other than the fact that this keeps the chariots safe, that we want to put them here is, rather than the way that we would normally use them, we are going to use them in this particular battle as monstrous infantry instead of as chariots. And what that means exactly is, as soon as we're engaged, we're going to push them to the front of the line, and sort of intersperse them amongst our lines of Tomb Guard, using their mass to essentially prevent the enemy from moving closer towards us and such. Oh, and it does look like, unfortunately, Skyla has pushed through Use's ability and forced our Lich Priest into Feral Rage, or out of control, and brought him down by 50% of his HP. Okay, we have to save the Lich Priest because we really need the magics here, so we're going to send everybody here to try to block Skyla from killing him. Yep, and that's the danger. It's one of the many dangers here. Our units are pretty darn fragile. Frankly, our Lord and our Tomb Princes are also very fragile because they are on chariots. Everybody going into Rampage other than the Tomb Guard is very much in risk of getting obliterated by one of the Khornate champions. So, what can you do? Alright, chariots have moved on in and are now going to help the front line, and the Skaven army has arrived. If you're wondering why I said only 4 chariots out of 6, the 2 chariots without Sundering Armor have been kept hidden all the way on this side of the map, waiting for the arrival of the rats. They've charged on in and made sure that the Plague Claw catapults cannot fire, and will now move to either menace the weapons teams or the Death Globes and Poison Winds, or chase them off, depending on whether we can take them out for good with our artillery pieces, which is the plan. Otherwise, it's just a matter of seeing whether we can hold ground long enough. We do have a major advantage in the ability to cast a lot of spells over the course of the battle. And there we go. Usek's Incantation of Desiccation comes down, so for 45 seconds the enemy effectively can do no damage to us with their main troops, and of course the single entities can very much do so. Should also probably bring down that Cultist of Khorne on that darn War Shrine, hopefully soon. But by virtue of the fact that our chariots have pushed on into melee, it means that they can't use their ranged ability to snipe. Now, the enemy does have a fairly decently sized blob engaging us, so we're going to pop off that Skull Storm. It will clip one of our units, unfortunately, because, well, we had to. But hopefully it did way more damage to the enemy than it did us, even with this Tomb Guard unit down to 30% of its HP. Just out of curiosity, what's the Lich Priest stat? 305 kills, 45,000 damage? Probably worth it. It got to reduce those numbers. Now, as the enemy Skaven at least flee, our 2 units of chariots, which patiently waited in those trees, will begin running them down, and making sure that those that are routing do shatter and don't come back. As I've said before, though, we have most of ARBAAL's army is unbreakable and have to be brought down to a man. And of course, ARBAAL himself and I want to say Skyla are unbreakable. I don't think Scar is, but we gotta double check to make sure. Either way, it's definitely gonna be a toughie. And oh, they've got another Bloodletter Summoner. This is the 2nd or the 3rd now. Well, I'm just gonna have to deal with them. Fortunately, their melee defense is pretty low. Unfortunately, we don't have the magical damage to quickly get them the heck out of here unless we hit them with an artillery piece, and, well, we're too much of engaged in a brawl right now, with all of our units effectively interspersed amongst all the enemy units. It's a pretty hectic little battlefield as we hold this valley, but so far the strategy is working, if only barely so. This unit of Tomb Guard is down to 10-20% of its HP, this unit is down to 25, and, well, we reached the first level of the Realm of Souls, even with our army getting severely beat up. But the balance of power has at least shifted in our favor, with most of the Skaven at least destroyed, and us still working away at those enemy marauders. You gotta love that Usek's Incantation of Desiccation. Look at those stats, 10 and 10 on the marauders. At least for the 45 seconds that the spell is up. Gotta take advantage of it wherever we can in order to make sure that our Tomb Guard can do the damage. Alrighty, and is that yet another Bloodletter summoning? How many of these things does this guy get? And ooh, Skyla uses his explosion ability and everybody around him goes into Rampage. Looks like the explosion also obliterated one of the units of Tomb Guard, which melt away, never to be seen again. King ALKHAZZAR is still in the center of the formation. We have another unit of Tomb Guard, which looks to be about to be destroyed soon, but the balance of power is now at about 85, closing in on 90% in our favor. And it looks like, if just barely, we are managing to hold on at least against the enemy army. Why do I specify army? Because I'm not specifying the single entities of it. ARBAAL is at 80% of his HP. Scar Bloodwrath, similar, 85 maybe. And then Skyla is the one that we've been trying to focus down the most, who is down to about 40% of his. He's also the biggest target, and thus the most susceptible to range fire. So the chariots that were on the front line and got the most hurt, like these ones, we backed off and are now using them for their range capabilities to try to dish out damage to Skyla. And don't tell me you've got an explosion back up again. Yep, he does. That's another Tomb Guard unit, I believe, about to be destroyed. This one, I think, is not going to survive this battle, or maybe this one. Man, I don't know if any of our Tomb Guard are going to survive. Well, what can you do? Hey, a second Realm of Souls would be really nice here. We're 12 units short of that. Might even be good to send in a few chariots to die just to get to the Realm of Souls active. 493, come on. Well, we're not getting Ushabti, that's for sure, though I'm sure they would have helped here. On the bright side, Skyla is very nearly done for. A couple more arrows and he will fall. No more of those AoE explosions and forced rampage on everybody around. Scar Bloodwrath and ARBAAL, however, are still very much in the fight, fighting basically back to back here against the remnants of our Tomb Guard. And we'll try to do our best to pincushion them, though with them being much smaller targets, I don't know how effective that'll be. There is a spawn of Khorne still fighting out there, though not for long. And I think one of these two has a spawnification ability as well. And depending on our damaged units. And ARBAAL, I think, also has, yep, also, I was about to say, also has an explosion ability, so that's not so great for our Tomb Guard. As suspected, though, Scar Bloodwrath abandons ARBAAL, running away with 75% of his HP remaining, and frankly, that's really good for us, because well, bringing this guy down is still going to be something of an issue. Nearly a 10-minute long brawl, though, a heck of a line holding for King ALKHAZZAR. This is not what this army is meant for. It's a chariot army, and both the lords and, well, literally half of our army, actually more than half of our army if we count the Tombbarks, is made up of just chariots, which are supposed to harass and divide the enemy army, and are supposed to take advantage of their devastating flanker and their glorious charge and all that to help out when the enemy is engaged. We could not do that here because of the complete counter to the chariots offered by the Feral Rage ability. Oh man, I'm just thinking next time I play Khorne, I gotta remember to try to get a Dark Elven ally if possible, because if we can get an army that combines forcing the enemy... ARBAAL, stop turning away, good lord. Combine an army that makes use of the Feral Rage mechanic with a bunch of Witch Elves, which also apply that Madness of Cain, and basically force the enemy to engage and unable to maneuver whatsoever. It might be nice. Anyway, how's ARBAAL doing? He's still around 30% of his HP. That was a minute of that, and, well, he's still fighting. 1.8k weapon strength at this point, 145 kills and 38,000 damage. Pretty darn solid. Our Tomb Guard do have him surrounded though, and our chariots obviously not fighting in melee, neither are Tomb Barks. And we're even keeping away our lords because with that 1.8k weapon strength, neither the lord nor the two Tomb Princes are going to survive too many of those hits. And there's another explosion coming in, probably going to severely damage. Yep, this unit of Tomb Guard is down to 61%. We're 1, 2, 3, 4 out of, I want to say 6. So 2 are definitely gone. And hey, don't you peel away to go for our Tomb Bark. This is so rude. On the bright side, I guess this will enable us to hit him a few more times with arrows there. Maybe we'll use King ALKHAZZAR to pin him in place for a few seconds rather than the Tomb Guard before moving away. He does drop in terms of HP now. Alright, arrows still coming in with less units blocking him. Come on, bring him down at last. He certainly gave us a heck of a fight here, though, you got to admit. A heck of a last stand for ARBAAL, considering it was very nearly our last stand. Frankly, we're lucky we didn't have to deal with Harry the Hammer. Wait, can Khorne get Harry the Hammer, or is it only Chaos Warriors? I think Chaos Warriors can get pretty much everybody, right? Although I don't remember how it works anymore. It's so confusing with the undivided forces, kind of mixed like a Valkia, Warriors of Chaos, but not. It's all confusing. Anyway, close victory for us, and the battle is ours. Several of our units were destroyed, and we came very, very close to being obliterated there. On the bright side, though, we did manage to keep all of our chariots alive, even if we weren't really able to use them in the way that we wanted to, but, you know, in a pinch, they did work as monstrous infantry to help anchor our line. Ooh, alrighty, there we go. Definitely a tough fight as 2 of our units of Tomb Guard did bite to the dust here. I was previously considering getting this army some big boys because clearly with the Tomb Princes on chariots and the Lord on a chariot as well, unless we switch the Tomb Princes to mounts or on foot. And the thing is, we just couldn't do anything about the enemy single entities. 55,000 damage on ARBAAL, 38,000 damage on Skyla, and okay, Scar didn't do quite as much, but all of them had their annoying abilities, and there's nothing in this army that can really deal with single entities at all. Even the Tomb Guard here are of the sword and board variety. Funnily enough, I had originally been contemplating making them of the halberd variety, though against the piles of marauders, the swords would have been more effective, especially since, due to that rampage function, we wouldn't have been able to use the chariots, well, other than in the way that we did, though I do think it was fairly effective, at least, well, some degree effective. We can see that the 2 chariots that were without the emblems of withering, the less tanky chariots that we kept back to deal with the Skaven, and got a lot more damage by virtue of actually getting a few charges in, whereas these guys had to bolster our line. Still, awesome fight. We'll bind the souls as best we can. ARBAAL's army is by and large destroyed. And let's see, Vigor loss reduction minus 10% and leadership plus 4. I mean, that's something. Ally mission successful, Obsidian Amulet, and I guess we can take Blackgouge here as well. Let me guess, this is going to severely damage our chariots. No, not really. Damaged our Tomb Guard, but otherwise we're okay. Occupy. Alright, now, how long would it take to build... 2 turns, eh? We could just use a couple of bright shields here temporarily to fill the space so we can move immediately. Probably don't want to sit still and allow these guys to recover. Yeah, alright, fine. Now let's do a quick couple of... Oh. That'll switch us out of the stance that we were in. Yeah, but let's just do a couple of temporary bright shields. We are going to pop them into a different army, but we don't have that army up and running as yet. And none of the monstrous units would take 1 turn, would they? Sepulchral Stalkers would help as well. Well, me trying to make any excuse to put more Sepulchral Stalkers in every army. Alrighty. Well, let's do that for now, and then we'll see if any further adjustments are needed. It is a chariot army, and I do believe Sphinxes, the War Sphinxes do share the chariot buffs. Then again, I didn't want to sort of copy Cetra's army. Anyway, with that, folks, I think this is probably going to be a good place to call the episode here. I'd love to end the turn, but as soon as we do, we have two major fights. King Walkoff versus, like, well, 4 armies, including some Vampire Council elites, plus Kateb versus the elites out of Zandri, which should be tough considering they have a Shabtu with Great Bow and we're very slow. So we'll save those to next episode, which we'll start off by, well, ending the turn and begin fighting. Stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially for ALKHAZZAR, who had a glorious fight here and had to prove himself to be worthy of being a chariot lord alongside Cetra. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.